What is up, everyone? It's the Golden Centurion here, back at it again for some more CPC content. So today I'm bringing you guys my Week 3 matchup versus TTM Stinks. So he's a new coach. He took over for Rob, and he's inherited a massive team. So the team he brought today is Landorus, Mega Kangaskhan, Reuniclus, Crobat, Tentacruel, and Skizor. Or Scizor, my bad. Alright, so I'm going to go over the team that I brought for this matchup. So for this matchup, I brought Trident my Empoleon with Shuckaberry, 104 HP, 84 attack, and the rest in defense. I brought Waterfall, Ice Beam, Knockoff, and Aqua Jet. I am Defiant Nature. So the plan here is to be Defiant, so get the boost from Landorus, and then so I'll get that boost and I'll be able to live in Earthquake because I'm Shuka. My plan was actually to have Avalanche on this set, however, due to the nature being incompatible, I could not, so I had to go Ice Beam. I learned that at the last second, and I already agreed the battle, so didn't really have any time to think around that or change any sets. So next up is my full defensive Mega Venusaur. I have Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, HP Fire, and Synthesis, HP Sire for the Scizor. So this thing main role is to wall out offensive Mega Kangaskhan. It gets walled hard by Crobat. It can't really touch Tentacruel. Has a hard time with Reuniclus, so it's mainly just here for Mega Kangaskhan. Next up, we have Reaper, Weavile, Expert Belt, basically max attack. I sped Crep. Who did I speed creep? I sped Crep something on his team, and then I have Ice Cold Crash, Knockoff, Brick Break, and Ice Shard for priority. It's really standard, just revenge kill Weavile. Twilight does draw choose here with Rocky Helmet, max HP, max defense. Rocky Helmet is for the Crobat for one, as I can wall out Crobat unless he has Heat Wave. I can take hits from or from regular Scizor, and I take a lot of hits from the Mega Kangaskhan. I can take a decent amount actually. I have Shadow Ball, Psychic, HP Ice, and Fire Punch. So I decided to go HP Ice over HP Fire as HP Ice did more to Landorus than Ice Punch would, as of course the Intimidate. And then Fire would do a decent amount still to Scizor. Psychic, I'd have to go Shadow Ball, and Psychic. Next up is Dove Togekiss. Dove is a Charty Berry, so I can switch into Landorus and take a Stone Edge. Air Slash, Psychic, Flamethrower, 196 HP, 180 defense, and 132 special attack. So the 180 defenses allow me to take, I think it was a non-boosted cross poison after rocks. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what the method was. Maybe it wasn't max attack cross poison, but that's what my defensive investment's for. Flamethrowers and the moves are pretty basic. Next up is Golden Bird the Blaziken with Focus Sash, so he's my lead. Basically, to max attack and some special attack with just a tad bit of speed, 40 speed in case he doesn't speed creep me. Blaze Kick, High Jump Kick, HP Ice, Will-O-Wisp. So he's going to be my designated lead. If he goes Mega Kangaskhan, then I'm kind of screwed, so I'll switch out into Jirachi. However, if he leads Landorus, I'll either stay in HP Ice. If he goes Scizor, I will stay in, and more than likely I'll hit Will-O-Wisp, expecting him to switch out. If he leaves Crobat, that thing's such a big threat that I honestly just might sack this thing, let him take Brave Bird Recoil, and then get off the Will-O-Wisp. So that is my designated lead. However, he goes Mega Kangaskhan, so right away I know I have to switch out. So I go into Twilight expecting maybe just a fake out to try and break a sash or something. However, he brought some really cool prep, and he goes for Protect. So Protect is obviously in case I'm High Jump Kick Blaziken, which I am, and I would take 50% recoil from that. So that tells me it's a bit more of a defensive Mega Kangaskhan. However, not sure on what he wants to do, as he probably expects some of my mons to have Rocky Helmet. I'm expecting an Earthquake, so I decided to switch out into my Togekiss here. And he goes just for Protect again. And here I'm thinking he might have Ice Punch, as it made a little bit of sense against my team. Or Ice Punch or Thunder Punch if he didn't have Earthquake. So I switch out into Twilight, but he decides to go for a Toxic here. So Toxic Protect screams defensive, so he switches into Dead Fun as I actually go onto my Golden Bird. So right now we have a little bit of momentum. I go for Will-O-Wisp here, expecting him to switch. So I get the Tentacruel. He reveals. Well, he hasn't shown an item yet, but so he goes for Scald here. My Mega Venusaur obviously easily tanks that up, and he takes Black Sludge damage. So it's nice that the burn's going to be canceling that out. And I forget about his Liquid Ooze ability. I actually just remembered it this turn. That's what prevented me from hitting Giga Drain here, as I believe I take damage from hitting Giga Drain. So that scared me into going for that. So instead, he switches out into Crobat as I fire off a Sludge Bomb. So it does about 20%. Tell me this is a bit more of a defensive Crobat. So I go straight into my Twilight. And he goes, instead of just going for Brave Bird, expecting to switch, he goes for a nice Super Fang, putting me at half health. However, he does take some nice Rocky Helmet damage. So here I do expect him to just switch out. He goes into Lando. I was close to hitting HPI, so instead I hit Psychic, expecting to make a Kinga. He then doubles into this thing, expecting me to switch, as I do into Togekiss. So he switches out into Carnegie, and I just go Flamethrower. I just want to get some damage. Or Carney, not Carnegie. So I go right back out in Twilight, who can take the Scald. I don't get burnt, thankfully, and this turn I believe I just fire off a Never Psychic. Yeah, I fire off a Psychic on the Mega Kangaskhan, and he goes for Fire Punch. So it does 27. Luckily I live 2, so he takes 2 rounds of Rocky Helmet. So now I go into my Weavile. My method here was, I know he was a bit defensive, however I didn't know his spread, because honestly this game I wasn't really calcing, as I just want to have more of a fun, lighthearted match. So I mean I did calcs before game, so I knew a Brick Break would kill this thing if he's only max HP. However, if he has to have a pretty good amount of defensive investment to live an expert belt Brick Break. So that's exactly what I go for. So he goes for Protect, probably just scouting to see what I have. So I go Brick Break here, and then I go Brick Break again, and I crit. So this crit is major, as I asked him after the game, and it did matter. So I am really sorry about that. He would more than likely just go Fire Punch and kill me out, and then I'd have a Weavile gone, and he'd still have his Mega King at full health. So I'm really sorry about that. So he goes into Dead Fun here. So I switch into Goldberg, designated switching. So he does 24% with a U-turn. That's probably choice banned. So he goes into his big body Brawlic and goes for rocks as I switch into my Dove. So he goes for Z. Twos and Headbutts most likely knocked him out. However, he could have got Shadow Sneak damage, so I guess that's where the crit comes in. So he Earthquakes here, and I just Ice Punch and knock him out. The crit didn't matter there at all. Now he goes into this thing, and I decide to stay in and sack it to get some valuable information. As if he went for Dark Pulse here, that'd reveal that he's special. If he went for Knockoff, that reveals that he's physical. Since he goes for Knockoff, I know that he's physical, meaning that he's Flying EMZ. That's what I was expecting the second I saw that. So Twilight's down as I now go into my Weavile, and I don't even. I guess I should have just gone knockoff here, knowing he wouldn't stay in. But I decided to go for Ice Skull Crash. As Ice Skull Crash plus Toxic plus knockoff guarantees knock this thing out, unless he is Colbur, which he is Colbur, which is some great prep on his part. And here he decides to T-Wave me, meaning that my Weavile isn't all that useful anymore as I don't outspeed Nihilego. Ice Shard, I guess, is nice for the Thundurus. However, not being able to outspeed it in general is kind of crappy. Slowbro goes down, though, to Toxic. Now he goes into Megalop, trying, and he will outspeed me. Of course. So what I thought about here was a number of different things. I could go for Ice Shard and get off a little bit of chip. However, if this thing wanted to set up in any sort of manner, I believe Power Up Punch killed me no matter what. But I just didn't want him to go for anything else, so I decided to just hit Ice Shard or Ice Skull Crash, as he'll just KO me with return here. So now I go into my Mega Venusaur, who is my check to this thing, as this thing's finally now in. As you guys can see, his return does 30 HP, and that's absolutely nothing. After Giga Drain, he only did 15. So here, I knew he was switching out. However, so I probably should have gone for Sludge Bomb. However, I didn't know what he'd want to do, and he went into his Thundurus. So I go for Giga Drain. It does 20%. I'm back up to 94. So since I saw he was physical earlier, I go straight into Togekiss, expecting the Flynium Z. As he does Supersonic Sky Strike, and now I'm down to like 30%. So here I just go straight for my Dazzling Gleam, as it gets a crit that's not relevant. Since I'm Choice Scarf, I will outspeed him again. I didn't really see a point switching into Mega Venusaur and taking unnecessary Sludge Wave damage. So he's at 83 of Special Defense Boost as I go into my Mega Venusaur now. So my way of winning now is he can go for something like Psychic or Sludge Wave. It will not do that much to me. Probably less than 40, or definitely less than 50. So I should be at a range where I can live a fly from you. So if he goes for that, my Earthquake guarantees knocks this thing out, since he got a special defense buff, not a defense buff or anything. So I'll live this, be above 50 HP, be out of fly range, and then he'll do that. I'll kill him with Earthquake, and then he'll go into Thundurus. He's going to have to fly, while I would probably Synthesis up, and then be able to go for a Sludge Bomb on his when he hits me. But he goes for Psychic and crits me. So now I'm at a range where Fly guaranteed kills, which is really pesky and annoying. So I have to go for Earthquake here. I kill this thing, of course. He goes into his Thundurus. He goes for Fly. I Synthesis up. Sadly, this turn, if he did not crit me, or here, real quick. As you guys can see, if he did not crit me, I'd be at a range where I don't have to Synthesis up again. I would actually be able to go for Sludge Bomb, as after another Synthesis, I'd be at full health on his Fly. But since he did crit me, I have to go for Synthesis again this turn. So instead, I'm at 72 HP and this thing's still at 80. Where had I gone for Sludge Bomb, it's doing like 40, and then he'd be in range of... He's definitely 2 code, so that's where the Hex comes into play. So he goes for Bulk Up, as I have to Synthesis up again, where I would be able to just Sludge Bomb again and then kill this thing and win the game. However, because of the Psychic, he just gets to Fly. I'm at full health. His Fly does 82%. My Synthesis up here. Not looking good for me, guys. So he Bulk Ups as I go ahead and just Sludge Bomb here. I did get that prediction right that he would Bulk Up. So he goes for Fly. I Synthesis up. So this is a +2 Thundurus against a max HP, max defense Venusaur, who is plus defense nature. I calced that earlier in case if I could let him get to +2. And it is a 55% chance for him to KO here. So it is in his favor. 55% though can go either way. My play 100% is to Synthesis up, as if he goes for Fly, he'll die to Poison. So if he goes to fly and I live on like 1 HP, I go for synthesis. I'm up at 50 again. He'll die to poison. As we already saw, Lopunny only does 30% with its return, so I can Giga Drain that thing to death. The synthesis once and then just completely win with Mega Venusaur. However, he goes for fly, 55% chance, but the crit. So even though Varol was in his favor, 55 can go either way, really. And it's unfortunate that the crit did happen. So after the crit, I mean, it's 100% chance to go in his favor. The main thing that killed me, though, was Nihigalo Psychic critting, as that forced me to synthesis again when I could have Sludge Bombed, and I then would have completely won this game had that Psychic not happen. Rather unfortunate, but it's the game we play. So I end up taking a 2-0 loss to Chime. Oh, man, I forgot. So after this week, I decided that I needed to make some transactions to try and get back on course. So some of the transactions that I decided to make were I'm dropping my Lotic, I am dropping my Rapidash, as well as dropping. What else am I dropping? I'm dropping my Lotic and Rapidash, and I am picking up Blaziken and Empoleon, as well as I'm using some of my free points to pick up a Vivillon as. Oh, scratch what I just said. Sorry, guys. I'm dropping Gligar, Milotic, and Rapidash, and I'm picking up Empoleon, Blaziken, and Vivillon. So something that I've noticed is, one, my team doesn't really have the best fire type, as I believe Blaziken is better in general, as well as the fact that Gligar I don't think is that good of a mon in League. It's a physical threat, or physical wall, but I already have that, and I'd rather bring Golurk most weeks than bring a Gligar, as well as the fact that, as you guys saw last week, Gligar is set up fodder. So I believe getting rid of Gligar, but then I'm down a Rocker and Defogger, so that's why I pick up Empoleon. And Milotic's also bulky water, so I decided to get rid of that. And then I got rid of Rapidash for Blaziken. So I'm really happy with these transactions I made. The one thing that I'm seeing right now is that I have a Terrakion and a Blaziken. Two fighting types, kind of like why. However, after week 3, so 2 weeks from now, I am dropping, or not trading, dropping. I am trading with Abe. I'm trading him my Cobalt. No, I'm trading him my Terrakion, and I'm picking up his Thundurus. Thundurus T, so it's the base 101, Volt Absorb, 145 special attack mon. So these transactions, I hope, can help me get back on course. And I'm really sorry I started to mumble here, guys. All right, I'm gonna catch you guys later. See ya.